But wait, haven't we already seen other reserved words already? For example, wasn't print a reserved word? Well, no, we actually said that print is a function, not a reserved word. How are those different? Well, let's find out. Here we're doing something a little bit weird. We're trying to create a variable named print and give it the value 5. Can we do that? I mean, print is already a function, right? Can we also use it as a variable name? As it turns out, we kind of can. When we run line 1, the computer creates the variable print and gives it the value 5. Notice that the error we're about to encounter occurred on line 2. So line 1 works just fine. We can create a variable named print and give it the value 5. The problem is that using the function name as a variable name hides the original use for it. We're basically saying that for the purpose of this code, print isn't going to mean the print function, it's going to mean our variable. That becomes a problem on line 2, because if we just replace the meaning of print with our variable, then how do we print something? Notice that in the highlighting right here. Print is now highlighted in blue. That means that we're seeing it as a variable, not as a function. And the syntax of a variable being followed by parentheses with another variable inside just doesn't make any sense. That's what this type error means. Python is telling us that int is not callable. In other words, this syntax suggests we're trying to use the word print as a function, and yet we just gave print an integer as a value. We can't call an integer the way we call a function, and so we get a type error saying we can't call an integer. What's weird about this is that print is a function. It's just that by defining a variable named print, we've hidden the fact that it can also be used as a function. It can only mean one thing for a given block of code, and we're changing its meaning. This is actually pretty beneficial though. Imagine you were working on a very big project, and there were lots of variables and functions everywhere. If someone wrote a new function that just happened to share the same name as a variable you've used in the past, then suddenly your code would break even though your code isn't changed. This way, if someone does that, your own code will still see your more local version of what those words mean. However, probably the most relevant takeaway here is you probably don't want to use the word print as a variable name. And also, you probably don't want to use any of our other common functions like string, int, type, or input as variable names either. Input actually makes that a little bit hard because that's a variable name we can easily imagine using, but we probably want to avoid it so that we can still use the actual input function.